sure. So, first I just want to say, look, I have a problem with videos, I guess, because I was like, yo, I'm about to dish out this content, it's gonna be dope, we finna have a consistent year, 2018, and then like, I do good for about 3 months and then I just disappear off the face of the earth. But, pray for me, that's all I can say. Life is real. Really quick, I want to do a recap on 2018. I'm sure that some of you guys follow me on Instagram, but for those who do not, which I really advise that you do, here it is, the recap. Let's see if we can do this under 7 minutes, hopefully. Number one, for those that had watched my previous YouTube videos know that I went to Las Vegas last year to be with my grandmother because she wasn't doing well. Thank God, praise report, she is doing fantastic, very independent, still strong, driving around. So I'm really grateful that my grandmother is back on her feet. Hallelujah. 2, I dropped Perfect, and it is about roughly under 2 minutes. It was just a little thing for me to just kind of stay up on my craft. Number 3, I also dropped a cover, Maxwell, Whenever, Wherever, Whatever. I think that's in the right order. It's on SoundCloud. If you haven't heard it, please go listen to it. 4, so I have a nephew who I rarely get to see, and so while I was in Las Vegas, my brother came into town because he lives in California, and we celebrated my nephew's 5th birthday. That was amazing because my nephew is very special, and not because he's my nephew, he's literally a miracle baby. When he was born, he was 1 pound 11 ounces, and the Lord gave me a scripture for that number, which of course is Hebrews 11:1, just having faith that he will be fine, and here he is standing strong, 5 years old, like with all the complications that he had. He was supposed to have a cerebral palsy, or cerebral palsy, I don't know how to say that, and he has nothing. He's just completely healed. So I'm really grateful for my nephew. I love you. Number 5, I had a birthday. Yeah, I turned 27. I'm 27, y'all. Like, I'm getting old. Like, Lord, where you at? Where you at, Jesus? Where you at? Where you at, Lord? Where you at? 6, I went to Legacy. So, you know, every year I try to go to Legacy, and this year was very interesting because I was just gonna go. Me and my friend, we just pushed this year, and a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, she was hosting the Legacy Fest originally, but something happened to where she felt sick and she wasn't feeling well, so they called me last minute to host the dang Legacy Fest. So that was like strange and just straight from above, because I was like, what? Who does that happen to? I guess, yeah. So I was at the right place at the right time. I was prepared. The Lord was with me. I had an amazing time. It helped me break down that, you know, that fear factor issue thing that sometimes I can have, especially like with the inconsistencies of not performing as often and just being unsure about, you know, the calling. Y'all know how it is. It gets tough sometimes. You stay consistent and you're just seeing not much, you know, fruit or not much of a result, and you're just like, God, did I hear you correctly? And then he comes and he just sprinkles this amazingness on you, and you're like, bam, there it is. Look, I told you. You just let me do what I do. Be patient. Yeah. Number 7. This is not number 7. This is number 7. I had my first headlining show in my hometown. Now this was extremely important for me because it showed me a level of elevation, and it showed me that God was getting ready to really make room for me and create a space for me that I cannot do with my own hands and with my own effort. Like, it showed me that I literally am in position as far as like what God predestined for me, because the way the process has been for me, it's really been like a really hit and miss thing, and just being consistent behind the scenes, not really in the forefront. So for someone to call me and be like, hey, we want you to headline for our youth group, that showed me that in the spirit realm, like, God is really like putting things in order. The show, it wasn't really like a fancy event where, you know, people know your songs and all this stuff, right? I didn't even get through my set. Honestly, I ended up just talking with these kids because they were just, you know, kind of all over the place, and you could tell that they were just there, you know, just to kind of have fun and socialize. But I wasn't there for that. I was there to spit these bars and or like give them Jesus. And so what ended up happening was that I just ended up just preaching or talking to them about the word and who they really are, and, you know, your soul, and why Satan is after it the way that he is, and why God is real, and, you know, just all these things to put it into perspective for them, that church is not just a place where you just go. Like, church is a place where you're supposed to meet God and grow in God and know God. I would say that was completely successful. Number 8, this one is my favorite. I dropped a mixtape, and I mean like one of those old school, like one track segueing into each other mixtape, like the full nostalgic sound with the old school beats, and, you know, a flow, you know, mixed with new school flow, and it was just amazing. In my opinion, it's the best project that I've done. It really had went far, and it got me a lot of recognition from those who I would say are pioneers in CHH, and also it just kind of put me on the map a little bit more, so I'm grateful for that. Number 9. So for those who don't know, we have an all-female Christian podcast called Clean Ears, and Clean Ears is dope, y'all. Like, they cover everything. They're very informative, super into the culture, hip-hop culture, music culture, Christian culture. They're in it all, political stances, like, you're gonna get it all. It's a well-rounded podcast featuring all women, and so I got to speak about Speak Up Girl, I Can't Hear You, the mixtape. And finally, number 10, I moved to Kansas, y'all. I'm not in St. Louis anymore. I moved to Wichita, Kansas with my mother and my stepfather. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about that. All I can say is that I have to be obedient. Like, what's here in Wichita? Nothing yet. Maybe I could be a pioneer and start something. Who knows? You know, I miss the people that I connected with in St. Louis. They threw a really dope going away party for me, which I've never had. So that was cool. Met some dope people this year too. I really did. Overall, last year, it really wasn't bad. I had some hard stuff hit me. You know, like, for instance, I lost a couple friends. One being Jeremiah Beats. For those who are familiar with my Double Up project, he mixed that whole project for me for free. He just believed in me so much. And then, of course, for those that are, you know, into the Christian hip hop culture, know that DJ Effecto is no longer with us, and that hit me extremely hard. I was not expecting DJ Effecto to leave that way and then so soon. When I talked with my friends, they told me that, hey, he was following his dreams, he was pursuing to be a chef, and I'm glad that he was out, like, following what he felt that he was supposed to do in his heart. And I just, it hit me, I ain't gonna lie, that took me by surprise. So that's it, you guys. That is my 2018 recap. I want to start doing questions at the end of every video, so make sure you guys answer the question. Please engage. Feel free to comment below. Also, don't forget to check out the links in the description. Make sure that you do share it, share the video, comment, like, subscribe. Love you guys so much. Until then, bye.